I kept telling myself I was going to sit down and continue Korra, and I didn't get around to it until last night. I've only watched an episode. So not much more on that.
You know, you don't have to watch things you don't enjoy.
It's not. It's complicated because there's so much I don't remember very well, and I'm like, you know, maybe the season won't be as stupid as the. Season 2 is the lowest point by far, so it does go up. It's just like every season it's such its own thing.
Oh, we're talking about Korra. Shit. And I was like, where are we?
Yeah, and like it's just like when season 3 opens up, where you have like Boomy falling off a cliff, and he accidentally figures out he can airbend because the harmonic convergence like gave a bunch of people around the world airbending. And it's just like, oh, the cool part of his character in the arc that they had at the end of the last season, which was one of the few little side bits that was interesting in the show, was when he was using his ability to just be very clever and patient without being able to bend as a way to like save everyone around him who can. But he can bend now. It's cool.
It's cool. Don't worry, guys.
I keep like every little thing just. I keep
Dax,
finding like little tiny things per
question.
episode where I'm just like, I don't like that.
I want to ask you a question. So you know how in the original, what is it, Last Avatar, or was it in the original Avatar? They spent a good few episodes specifically directed at the fact that Sokka is a non-bender.
Yeah.
In a group full of not just benders, but extremely talented benders, including the Avatar himself. And they still found ways to show that he's extremely useful and that he has things to provide to the group that nobody else can. Yeah. Now, what if they just decided one episode, hey, you can earth bend now. You can water bend. How would you feel?
It's not. It would be way worse than that context, because Sokka's role as that non-bender character is so much more important than you know, one of the millions of fucking side characters that are in Korra. But it's like, to have, I think that makes it worse, because, or in a way it makes it worse for Korra, because it's like, it's such a minor thing going on in the background that just leads to the idea of, oh, we're going to go find other airbenders, where it doesn't really, I can't remember how much if it goes into much later on, but it's like, based on what I remember and like how many fucking characters we started introducing, all the other stuff, it's like, this can't get that much attention from this, like, from this guy, from this character. It's almost one, when they keep doing things like that in the show, it's like, well, why even, it feels like a waste of time when you only got like 12 episodes to cram an entire like arc's worth of shit. It's like, why are we, was it just like funny to see him do it? I guess, but I don't know. It's weird. Show's really weird. I don't know. Like, I was
how
like,
many episodes is Korra?
It's like 13 per season.
How many seasons is there?
4.
I never watched Korra.
Yeah.
I just didn't give a shit, and I was like, I don't care.
I watched the entirety of it, and boy, oh boy, did it make me a sad person.
It's just boring. Although I will say, like, I forgot a lot about like Sahir or whatever, and his whole thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, evil airbender. That was a lot cooler than giant red and blue jellyfish kites. So I'm down for that. And the fighting still looks great. So every time they start fighting, I'm like, yeah. Because it's a lot better than end of season 2. Chest beam.
Oh man! Ooh.
Shoot my laser beam at you.
That, like, I have so many things wrong with just like that moment, let alone like everything else that's going on in season 2. Holy shit!
I will say the best part of season 2 were the 2 episodes where they went away from the show and just talked about Juan.
You know, I have mixed feelings about Juan.
Normally, I'm like, I don't want to know any of this shit, but the problem is that if they didn't introduce the lion turtle at the end of Airbender, then I would have had I would have just been like, what is all this? Whereas, like, throwing that at the very end where it's like, you can do something with that. Oh, okay. Because then it's just like, the whole process of Aang just finding the fucking turtle and then just like the 2 points and all this, I'm just like, okay, few questions about that. So I like how they implemented it, and I like the idea of like how the Avatar came to be and for what reasons it was. I don't like character walks through a field and finds the 2 ultimate gods of the whole world just like just going at it. And it's like we're fighting for eternity, and it's like, you look like you're getting your ass whooped. Did I just happen to stumble upon the one point in this eternal struggle in which you are going to lose? Because that's pretty lucky for you, considering I managed to keep the fire from the turtle. It's pretty cool. And it's just, and it ends up being this whole thing. It's like, I don't care about like that. But all the Avatar focused stuff. And he had his cool friends. Bunny guy was cool. This smart ass of the forest, you know, all the wacky do spiritual shit. It was kind of neat.
Continue.
I will say, like, I liked all the like animal talky spirit stuff and all that. I like it all focused in that because it felt like it added more to the story time kind of storybook aesthetic of it. When it starts getting brought out, and now in season 3 where harmonic emergence happened, she fused the worlds and now the spirits are just running around. Now it feels like just too busy. I already didn't really care for the whole like city aesthetic and like everything kind of trying to, I was like, maybe over time it'll play out and it'll feel a little more cohesive instead of being this weird hodgepodge of, look, it's the Statue of Liberty, but it's not, it's Aang, do you get it? And I'm like, okay, well, okay. But now it's like, oh, now there's vines and spirits everywhere, and they're all like talking shit to the people. I'm like, oh god, this is so tonally fucking all over the place. Which is weird, considering Airbender had giant flying bison and just like, here's a dog with a bear head, and it's like, haha, and you don't really think twice about it. There's even a gag in season 3 that I love, where the Earth King, who's just this oblivious fucking moron who doesn't know anything about what's actually happening on the outside and that the war is actually going on, reportedly to rumors around the city and to the Avatar's friends and all that, has a pet bear. And they're like, a bear what? A bear wolf? A bear shark? And they're like, no, just a bear. And they're like, what? What? And of course, when you see it, yeah, it's just a bear. And they're just like, what the fuck is that? What is that? And so the whole idea of like, yeah, and it's just a great simple fucking gag. It's just a simple poke at like, yeah, this is, we just, all of our animal designs are kind of a joke. It's on purpose here. We're fucking with you. It just, Korra's boring. I don't know.
The shit that, okay, it's like the wand shit. I totally agree with you on how tonally it's just like all, super fun story time with all the animals, and we're just kind of having our own little original adventure.
I was so bored of her. Exactly. They put her in the pool and just say, we're gonna do a different show now. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
No, that's cool. That's probably,
that's fine.
Now that you mention that, that makes so much sense, because like I had the same exact feeling where I'm just like, God, I just don't want you to be the main character anymore. Like
everything was going wrong, and I didn't feel good at, like, I was like, you were kind of showing promise in the first season, and now you're just an idiot. Now you're actually stupid, and you're just getting yourself into bullshit, and I don't really care. Oh, who's this guy? Oh, he's cool. He looks fun. I like how the sky is drawn all cool. It's fun.
Yep. The shit that I don't like is just like, just Rava just fuses with person, and now the reason that all the mystical cool shit, like people, avatars being able to communicate with their past lives, the reincarnation cycle, like all that, it's like, so how does that happen? Oh, white spirit, eternal spirit fuse with person, and now that's how it happens. I'm like, oh great, I really didn't need to know that, but now I do.
If it was something as simple as like, hey, here's a little story about the Avatar, and he found this special thing, and he ended up taking it inside of him, and then he had the ability to reincarnate. It'd be like, cool. The fact that Rava is like a character,
yes,
and the fact that now there's this like bond that you have to give a shit about between her and between her and Wan, okay, that's fine, because you see a thing, so I guess there's like a relationship that plays out there. But when she just starts talking to Korra and they're just like doing their shit, it's like, I guess, yeah, you're technically the same. You're technically all the same people, but you're not. You don't know this fucking flag jellyfish god lady. I don't know. It just that kind of shit just takes me out of it, as opposed to being like, okay, yeah, so that's how he ate this weird jelly bean in a mountain, and now he has the ability to like reincarnate and communicate with past. It's like, all right, like cool. It doesn't really impact anything. It's just having that be a character. It's like, okay, well now it makes it weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
And well, God, and then like the end of season 2 with the whole fucking chest beams and like there's a dark avatar. That phrase alone,
which he doesn't do avatar
cursed.
shit. He just does water. So I'm like, is it? I guess because he has the flag.
There's a dark avatar.
He ingests the dark god the same way that the light god went inside the original avatar and then subsequently is inside Korra. So he is able to basically have a avatar state and is able to do like crazy powerful bullshit. He just doesn't have all the elements, but that's the elements don't make you the avatar. I guess it's the god jelly thing that's in your body as a happy baby.
Makes sense.
That's a growing boy. Holy moly!
Pancake and bacon.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're making Brenner. That's right.
There goes the other gremlin, dude.
Bro, if he had moonwalked it in the background, I would have died. Imagine.
That's enough.
Like he steps into the frame, just power stances, fucking hits it real quick, and then backs.
Hey, he's talking to the boy. Let's go.
Oh, he's talking, dude. Yeah,
little runt walk by, dude.
Yeah, I won't ramble on Korra too much. Show's fucking boring.
That's pretty true.
But fights are great. Music's great. All that stuff's pretty cool. Little babe. Look at this dude. Baby's like, yeah, fuck Korra.
True.
Fuck some damn.
Even the baby knows.
Fuck some damn Korra.
Fuck some damn Korra.
Even the baby know.
Hey, bud, can you say F Korra?
Frick Korra.
I will say though, it is again, I only watched this first episode of the 3rd season, but I did really like, I didn't remember this at all, but I did really like the idea that Tenzin is so excited to get all these people into airbending because people around the world in the Earth Kingdom in particular are suddenly waking up and having airbending powers because of all this shit that happened last season. And he's like, oh, I'm going to bring them on and they're going to come to the temple and they're going to shave their heads and they're going to become monks and they're going to sell their possessions and they're going to be so happy like the rest of us. And they keep stumbling upon all these people who are like, I'm not just going to leave my fucking family. And so like, woo, I can do airbending, cool. And he's like, yeah, but you have to learn about your culture. And they're like, I don't have to do shit.
What the fuck?
And he's just, and so people are like straight, just like kicking him out of their fucking house. And he's just like, I don't understand. And they're all like, you're not exactly sounding appealing, because he's like, you'll get to shave your head and wear an arrow like me. And they just slam the fucking door in his face. I'm like, oh, this is great. This is why Tenzin should be, needs his own shit.
No, just like
there's a lot of side characters.
Aang's
kids are great.
Yeah, no, I have so much more fun following them than I do Korra and any of her shit. Like they tonally resonate more with what I like about Avatar. Way more than Korra and Mako and Bolin and all of them.
Me too, kid.
Kid's like, y'all know Halo 3 comes out tonight.
I'm gonna get.
We running games, kid. We running games, Lucas.
Pick up the sticks.